Hi, everybody. It's
Hello.
Tuesday. Hi, Beth. How you
Hi.
doing tonight?
I'm sorry, what?
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Today was supposed to be kind of a down day for me. I wasn't supposed to have a lot to do, but it turned out that I ended up with a lot more on my plate than I thought I would have, and but it all went very well. I kind of had some things gifted to me in terms of volunteers to do a job I needed to get done. So,
Yeah,
and you were one of them, so
I
that's
think
great.
I was one of them. Yeah.
You were. So I'm going to get right into it and share my screen because we're running a little behind. Let me just make sure. Well, it's not my, here we are. This is our Tuesday election update. Got a lot to share today. We're just 1 week out, Beth, just 1 week.
This
Oh
is
my
our
God.
last bantering session.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not that. It's just the last one everybody else gets to witness.
That's true.
Yeah, so I was making these slides and thinking that next week at this time, there'll be less than 2 hours till the polls close. So
I
that's
can't be soon
exciting
enough.
and kind of nerve wracking at the same time. So we have a lot we want you to know tonight, and I'm just going to read through these and then we'll get right into it. In Wisconsin, all ballots must be received in the clerk's office, whoever your clerk is, by 8 p.m. on November 3rd. That's election day. GOTV is extremely important. It's always important, but it's more important this year than ever before. We're going to
And
talk some about,
GOTV is get out the vote.
correct, yes, thank you for that. Some information about do's and don'ts on sharing information. Also about what we can expect after the polls close. And then we believe that we will win, but we're not going to let up until those polls are closed. So Beth, I'm going to let you talk about this one.
Okay, so we now know that everything we've been telling you is still accurate. And that is that all ballots have to be physically in the clerk's office by close of November 3rd. That means 8 p.m. when the polls close. So if you've mailed in your ballot this week, it may not get there. So if you still have your ballot, you want to not mail it, you want to drop it in the drop box or bring it into the clerk's office. We're going to show you in a minute how to find out where the drop boxes are, but I want to say a few more things. If you aren't sure if your ballot has been received by the clerk, remember you can go on www.myvote.wi.gov to check. If you check and you find that your ballot hasn't been received, you should immediately call the clerk and work it out. You can either get a new ballot, you have that right, or maybe they just haven't updated the website. I don't know. But you want to check on that and make sure the ballot has been received. Again, anything received after close of polls on November 3rd, next Tuesday, will not be counted. We know that in April, something like 80,000 votes came in after Election Day. They were postmarked by or before Election Day, and they were counted, but the Supreme Court of the United States changed that. And so now nothing will be counted if it comes in after November 3rd. Super important, folks. The Supreme Court of the United States.
Yeah, so if you need to know where your drop box is or your early in-person voting information, you can go to www.iwillvote.com/WI. I'm going to show you right now that site. So you can check your registration, all of those kinds of things. I want to find my voting or drop-off location. That's why I'm here. So I'm going to put in my address and search, and this will work. I've checked this out for various places around the state. The early vote information. First of all, the map here shows where the village hall is, but the early vote information is down below here, the hours, all of those kinds of things. And I can even get the route to that spot. If I click on drop off, it says there it is in the village hall parking lot, which is right next door to the village hall. And that's open 24/7 up until 8 p.m. on election day. And then also you can get the election day hours. Also tells you what the requirements are. So that's a really important thing, that you can find out this information really easily just by going to iwillvote.com/WI. Okay, so
Good website.
yeah, it is. It's a really good website. It's funded by the Democratic National Committee, and they have updated it as as things change, they've been updating it. So I'm going to let you talk about this too, Beth. This is OAP needs volunteers. So then, you know what we need.
Our big push right now is making calls to folks who have either requested their ballot and have not returned it, pretty much have not returned it. Various groups around the state can use help making phone calls to voters. This is extremely important. There are calls going out every night this week, and there are also calls being made on the weekend through the Democratic Party. They're statewide calls. If you want to get involved and help with making calls, our phone number is right there. You can call there or go to our website and send us a message on our Facebook page, and someone will get back to you. We're also doing things like dropping literature for various campaigns throughout the state legislature. And we are only 3 seats away from the Republicans having a supermajority, which means they would be able to override Governor Evers' veto. So it's really important not only that we keep what we have, but we need to take some more seats back, because gerrymandering and the census and new maps will be all on the docket coming up in 2021. So we need help. Come out and help us. Give us a call at the number shown there, 608-909-1518. Again, I know, excuse me, I know a lot of people are anxious. I'm anxious. The only way to deal with it, I find, is to do some work. You remove your stress that way. At least I find that. So, urge you to do that.
I cannot say enough about how much it relieves my stress to do stuff. Because if I just sit and wait, I just become more and more elevated in my anxiety, and the days go very slowly. So when I have a lot to do today, and for instance, I was supposed to be a down day. It really turned out to be a good thing that I had more to do, because I was pacing before things happened. So one of the things that we know is causing lots of anxiety is a lot of the disinformation and misinformation that's being spread on the internet. And when we read articles and we hear about Russian interference and Rudy Giuliani sending this or that or the other thing, it's just like, oh, makes me personally really crazy. So we want to make sure that we are not inadvertently amplifying these horror stories. So we don't want to repost lots of stuff like that. We want to repost things that are reassuring for people. But at the same time, we do want to report when there are problems. So the Lincoln Project, which some of you may have heard about or may have seen a lot of their ads and videos. The Lincoln Project has put together this website for reporting problems as you see them and for making sure that they are dealt with. It's called csay2020.com. And I'm just going to show you this site as well. It you can report things in real time. So if you are at a polling place and you're having issues with your check-in or the whatever you see voter intimidation happening, you are being intimidated, any of those kinds of things, you can go onto this site, csay2020.com, and report them in real time and be able to actually say, this is where I am, this is what's happening, this is the time. If you have an option to take a picture or a video, that's here as well. And there will be follow-up on this. So make sure that you bookmark this website on your phone and you have it, especially if you're somebody who is helping to observe at the polls and such, because this is a really, really incredible thing that they have put together to help prevent problems from happening. So really good thing, csay.com. At the same time, we want to report things that are happening, and there's also, so report disinfo.org. That is a place where you can actually submit disinformation that you are seeing on your screen, right? So you're on Facebook, you see something, you know it's wrong, you can take a screenshot of it and submit it. You get a misleading email that wants you to, that tells you all kinds of things. You can take a screenshot of it and send it into reportdisinfo.org. Don't share those things. Don't put those things out there in the ether for other people to also become anxious about. So we want to do our part in making sure that we are taking down those kinds of things and reporting those kinds of things to the proper authorities. And here in the Village of Oregon or in this area, those things could be reported to the Wisconsin Election Commission. They can be reported to the local clerks. They can be reported to our Secretary of State. And there's also a number there for you to text, 866-OUR-VOTE. I have a lot of these things. Claire's been doing a great job of getting these things up onto the OAP Facebook so that we're putting them out there. And so we're counting on other folks to help us spread that word as well. And then the last thing that we just want people to really be aware of, this election is really different. There are so enormously many more absentee ballots that need to be counted in this election. And Wisconsin state law prohibits any of that counting from starting before Election Day. I know that clerks in our small municipalities are feeling the stress of that because they have limited numbers of counting machines. And so they're making plans to fit this in between voters. But in larger municipalities, the central count offices in places like Madison and Milwaukee and Green Bay and other cities are sending all of their absentee ballots to central count, and there will be people who are doing nothing but feeding those ballots through the central count machine all day long. So the hope certainly is that the turnaround on the election count and the official certification happens in a very timely manner. But what's more important than anything is that the election results are secure and that everything is verified, that we know that the election results are valid and can be certified. So we have to be patient. It'll make us even more anxious, but that's when our camaraderie is important, supporting one another is important, and making sure that all the people that we have contact with and who we know are anxious about this are also feeling supported in that time while we wait. And we will have to wait.
As we get information, we will, and verify it, we will post anything we feel people need to know after the election on our website. So you can check in there and see if there's any new information. We may put up a separate page just about the election and the aftermath.
That's correct. And we'll also be putting things up on Facebook.
I also want to say that the Friday after election, we're going to invite you to tune in to our open mic. We are very excited to have John Nichols, who's a barn burner of a speaker and has a lot of great insight. He's going to be our guest. And I think we're all going to want to see what he has, hear what he has to say about the election.
Absolutely. We have never had an open mic with John Nichols that wasn't spectacular. He's always fun, and he shares great information, and we're really excited that he will be with us. I'm looking for the event to be able to share it. I know it's here. Okay. Yeah, so it is on our Facebook page as well. And you'll see there that we'll be tuning in with him. So that's not this Friday, but next Friday. So thank you, everybody, for your attention and for your time and support in this election. We're so gratified to be in a place like Oregon where, you know, we have people who are really, really civically engaged. And so I don't know what words of wisdom you might have to share at this point, Beth, but all I can say is I'm really glad that we're coming down to the last 7 days, and I am looking forward to a different future.
And one thing that has been demonstrated over and over, and that is in unity, there is strength. We are the United States of America, and we need to remember that in the next difficult, what I think are going to be difficult days. We will get through this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all on the other side a week from this Friday, November 6th, at our open mic. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Make sure you voted. Get 5 of your friends or relatives, it doesn't matter what state they're in, to send you a picture of them dropping off their ballot. Make sure you get everybody to vote who you know.
Yep. Thank you.
Good
Everybody
night.
have a good night. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye.